Angry guy here. Women are furious that men are saying no to dating them and becoming passport bros instead. Women are furious that men are saying no to dating and becoming passport bros instead. I mean, it's happening quite rapidly. The women are getting extraordinarily furious because they realize that men are choosing no longer to date, no longer to marry, no longer to have children. They're walking away from relationships entirely as they really realize that the juice is no longer worth the squeeze. And we're going to basically jump straight into it because I want you to see exactly what's going on right now.
Okay, here it is. If he's not feeding you, funding you, or fucking you, then his opinion doesn't fucking matter.
We're expected as men to kind of like settle for a woman as she is. Why don't women typically settle for a man as he is?
I don't think there's a correlation. I think like women can be beautiful no matter what shape or size they come in, but I don't think men that don't have money are being like discriminated against.
Women are born with value because as I'm an adult grown woman now, men love my feet, men love my ass, men love my hair or other attributes.
Because I do think that there's a level of hypocrisy in my gender. Unfortunately. Like, what do you mean? In women, I do think that we want it all, but we don't necessarily want to have to like admit any sort of change that needs to happen on our behalf.
Well, in other words, like a lot of women might feel like the guy's being controlling if he says, hey, I don't want you going out dressed like that. I'm trying to look out for your well-being or your safety.
No, that's not okay.
So then would it be okay for a woman to expect a man to be responsible for her?
Not necessarily. I mean, just because you're like paying bills doesn't mean you can tell someone like what they can and can't wear.
It's often said life isn't fair. Who is more likely to be expected to accept injustice, men or women?
I think that's an easy one. Men.
If it's not men, why do we have the expression, take it like a man?
Because men are statistically and just biologically more strong than women.
So men are just expected to take abuse?
No, but biologically, men are stronger than women.
What are they going to say? They already have the Duluth model, which automatically presumes that the man is guilty when the police show up.
Because men are supposed to take a lot of shit and handle it and be hard and strong. And that's what's accepted of a man.
You know what's intriguing, though? The unfortunate thing is that women turn around and then when they hear this stuff, they'll say, and it's so sad because men can't cry. Men don't want to cry. Men don't want to sit there and break down and cry, all right? They want freaking justice. They don't want to suffer all the damn time. They want justice. They want to be treated like human beings, okay? They don't need to cry. No one wants to see a man cry. Crying doesn't do anything for a man, all right? A dude will cry his eyes out, and some other dude will literally tell him, you better, listen, you better fix that, all right? Listen, men don't have time to cry. Women are such hypocrites, and it's like, I mean, there's one chick. She said the Duluth model. Men are presumed guilty guilty until proven innocent. That's basically how it is. Society is geared entirely against men. Feminism has basically created these women where they believe that the only thing they have to bring to the table is their bodies, and that's it. Because they have a body. And basically men have no other choice but to worship them, but to accept them because they are the gatekeepers of reproduction. If a man wants to reproduce, oh, sorry, bro, this is the only way that you're going to be able to reproduce. You have no other choice. All right, it's us or the highway. Take it or leave it. You are done. No matter how badly you behave, no matter how terrible we are. No, I mean, this is just basically showing what women can become, what women are at their essence and at their core. I mean, yes, women have been brainwashed by American society, but to some degree, you have to realize that this is the deepness. This is where female nature essentially takes women. This is where women can go if they are not, if the narcissism is not kept in check. Women will become lazy. They will choose to do little to no work whatsoever. They will choose not to care for the children. They will even abandon the children, and they will turn on the men and try to destroy the lives of the men just for fun, just for sport. This is the modern day society we live in, and it reflects just human nature and female nature. And we have to wake up and realize that it's not going to change until men stop accepting it. The sad and utter truth about the situation is that the only way men in society can ever find real justice is by walking away. Men are not going to find justice in the court systems. Men are not going to find justice through conversation and mediation with women. Men are not going to find justice in any other way other than walking away from Western society and Western women, and fighting it that way. And also, and let me make it very clear, it's going to also come down to men taking responsibility for everything. And when I say taking responsibility and accountability, I mean, for example, if you go over to the Philippines, first off, you need to have a lawyer set up immediately. You need to know the laws. You need to know every single thing. You need to be on top of every single thing. Do not if even if you meet the most wonderful Filipina in the world, that doesn't mean that you should trust her. I hear stories about idiots going over there and giving the Filipina their life savings, and the Filipina blows everything, and now they're crying their eyes out. And you know what? It's his fault, because at the end of the day, yes, it's a different culture, and she's a good woman, but she's still a woman. And she still has female nature. You have to use common sense. You have to understand that women are always going to be women, and women are always going to want more. If you give these women too much, the more you give them, the more they're going to want. You've got fools going over to the Philippines, you're buying women cars who don't even know how to drive. Giving women who didn't even finish didn't even finish junior high, their life savings, and telling them, okay, you're going to be in charge of all of this money right now. And then these women go and blow everything, and they're like, they don't understand how this happened. You're a fool. You're an absolute fool. There's this guy from Sunshine Shores. I can't remember the name of his channel, but he talked about this. You've got guys go over there paying $100 for $1 cup of coffee, and it's absolute nonsense. You get the analogy. It's nonsense what these men are doing, and that's why it doesn't matter where men go. Men need to wisen up after the crap that's, because you can't do this anymore. After what's happened in the United States, men have to realize that they are always going to be public enemy number one. They're always going to be mistreated by society. They're always going to be chastised. There's never going to be an easy world for men. The truth is, women live in complete delusion. The world is not an easy or safe place for women. The reason why it's in reality it isn't. Hear me out. The reason why why women live life on easy mode is because of the protection and the services and the privileges that men give to women. All right. If you take those away, women have nothing. If women don't have the government, if women don't have men backing them up and providing for them, they have nothing, and they completely fall apart within society, and they are left with literally nothing. And by the way, guys, if you're watching these videos, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Turn on notifications, never miss another video again, and like the video, because it tells YouTube that you want to see more of my videos. You'll get more of my videos in your suggested videos and on your homepage. Guys, men are tired of the nonsense. They're stressed out. They're exhausted. But you have to understand, the only justice men will ever get is by walking away. Someone asked me, I agree. Is it, why aren't you celebrating the decline of women? And let me tell you something. The reason why I'm not celebrating is for two reasons. One, I'm on YouTube, and there's certain things I can't say on YouTube. But two, at the end of the day, watching women suffer, watching women go downhill, it doesn't do anything for me. It's like, for a lot of guys, they're gonna go, well, oh, fine, look at these women. What come 10 years from now, if women are living in 10 cities or less than that, a large portion of women are living in 10 cities. A lot of guys are gonna say, your guys are, they're getting what they deserve. But really, they're still human beings. It's funny. You have to understand that just because they don't see us as human doesn't mean that we can do the same as they are. It's like, you have to understand everything: civility, culture, humanity. These things, they come from men being virtuous and having being kind. These things come from men. You don't seem to comprehend these guys. If we don't maintain some level of civility, if we don't keep these principles to ourselves, if we don't maintain something, then it's gone. because you can already see the women don't have anything inside of them. They don't have these traits. The moment that you let them run wild in society, they basically they become narcissistic. They become mean spirited. They become unfair, and there's nothing you can do about it. These, if when it comes down to taking care of oneself, being virtuous, being making sacrifices. Again, these are traits of men, and we have to hold on to this. So if we end up sinking as low as the women, if we end up, the women are modern day degenerates. The majority of Western women are modern day degenerates. I was watching a video, someone pointed it out. These women are degenerates, and we cannot become them. Because if we become them, then what else do we have left? It's the end of the world. And some of you are like, well, screw it. And that's the problem, because some of you just want to watch the world burn at this point. All right. And you can have that attitude, and you can say, well, I just want to watch the world burn. And it just shows that's the attitude a lot of big towns have. They just want to watch the world burn right now. And guess what? It's a terrible attitude, and I get it. I'm not telling you that you don't. It's not your right to have that attitude. I cannot tell you what to feel, and it's your right to feel the way you feel. And I get that you guys have been through so much, but don't misunderstand. If you don't stand up, if you can't reach in and find some way to move past all the evil that's been thrown at you, and all the cruelty that's been done to men, if you cannot find a way to move past it and to rise above it, even though you did not deserve it, you don't comprehend. No one gives a shit. It's all up to us. It's all up to us men. The women, there's nothing there. And it's all up to us men who aren't simps to rebuild, to start new lives, to start new communities, to rebuild the world, to start new societies. That's all there is to it. All right, we're it. We're men like us that have that know better. We're the only ones that can do better. We cannot fall into the trap. We cannot become completely petty. We cannot become animals like the women in The Sims, or else there's nothing left, and we're all done. We're it, guys. We're it. We're the last. We're the last of actual humanity. Don't let yourself fall into the trap of degeneracy, of anger and revenge. It's okay to be angry, but don't let that anger consume you, because then we have nothing left. We end up living in a world where no one wants to live. It's the honest to goodness truth. Women deserve less, and that's why you give them less. You stop. Don't give. Don't. And we're doing that. We're not giving them anymore. We're pulling back our resources, and that's what's happening. They're going to face major consequences. But we still have to work towards being good men, and we have to work towards being strong men, because the world needs us to be strong men. The world needs us to be good men. The world needs us to be virtuous men, even though it doesn't deserve us. We have to do these things, because if we don't, the world is going to collapse. There are too many pieces of shit in this world right now, and if we don't try to be better than them, then there's nothing left. And I know some of you are going to be pissed off hearing me say that, but that's really it. All right. If you don't be the change in the world that you want, then darkness consumes everything. All right. So screw them, screw them, screw them. All right. Women are furious that men are saying no to dating them and becoming passive roles instead. Yeah. Guess what, ladies? You can be as furious as you want. All right. No one wants to date your degenerate. No one wants to date degeneracy. And that's why we're leaving. That's why men are leaving. And that's why men have to just keep on going and find a good woman overseas, but know that you have to stay in control of that relationship, and also know that you cannot let yourself be consumed by your anger and your pain and your suffering. Because guys, if we don't have you guys, if we don't have guys like you who are aware and that have some sense of of goodness left in you, we've got nothing left. The Sims are pieces of shit. The Sims are pieces of shit, and the incels have given up on life. All right, guys, we're it. We're all that's left. Let me know what you think about what I've said. Regarding women and the fact that they're furious with men that are not dating. Guys, let me know what you think about all of this. And you can find a full video in the description of the video. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.